So I've had to put my fan on because it's as hot as hell in here, being Florida, and so it might be a bit noisy. Anyway, it's a 7mm for these two little nuts, well not nuts, little hexagon head screws here. So I guess the first thing to do, I'll unscrew this plastic cap here. One Phillips screwdriver, then two 7mm little screws. Hopefully I won't drop it down in the door panel and have to search for it, which I just did because it's really hard to get my big fat fingers in there. Anyway, so as you can see, I already popped this out and I used a plastic thing around here, and I start at the corner and I kind of push it up in there and then feel where it stops and lever it out, and you can just literally lever the whole panel out, right? Not too difficult. Now I use these plastic things and it allows me not to scratch the car, but you can use a piece of wood, you know, like a paint stick or something, if you have to use a screwdriver or something, so you can lever against it. One thing I'd like to mention is this bar here is for locking the door, and I think before you lever the plastic door panel up to pop it out, you should try and reach inside here. You can damage these clips, so you've got to be careful of that. Or another thing you could do is actually pop this bar out from the clips. In fact, that's probably how you do it, because you'd have to lever that out too much. So I would pop this bar out from these clips. It'll pop out really easily, and then pop your panel up so that you don't break these clips off. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up now, hopefully. See how that came up? Actually took quite a lot of force. So I'm going to take these wires off. Actually, before I take them off, I'm going to get them on video so you can see the colours, so you know how to get them back on. And actually, I might actually be able to just push it through here and then not have to worry about it. Then you've got this one in the light there, and then we've got the switch here, which has a little clip on it. So you push this clip in, push the little clip in there on the switch, and that will push that through, and then turn it on its side and pull it through. That's kind of cool. I really didn't have to disconnect any of these wires. I just turned it sideways and squished it through the hole. So you can get your entire door panel off by just putting your hand around the edge with a screwdriver or a plastic debris like that, and pop it off after you've taken these two screws out and the door handle off. So that's pretty cool. So now I want to see what happened to the door panel. So although I don't particularly want to, I'm going to pull all this stuff off, because I kind of have to. I'm going to work out the best way to do that, and then I might video it in a minute, see how I can destroy it as little as possible. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off first. Leave that. Man, that's attached to that really good in some places. But I can just glue it back on. it's basically just glued on really good in a few places. So I can put some spray glue on that and spray it back in quite easily. And I'm just going to thread this through this cut hole here. So I get rid of this bit, which I'll reuse. And this will allow me to see this a little bit better. It's all attached. And just work my way around. I guess this is a moisture barrier of some kind. I don't know if it can really be taken off without tearing quite a lot. I guess if you just take your time so you don't tear it too much, it'll be possible to get it off. And then I can get to my door mechanism in there. I can always use tape to tape the edge down. Yeah, I don't like how much I'm destroying that. So I'm going to not video for a little while, just take my time and see if I can get it off without damages it as little as possible. And then I can get to where my window is here and find out what happened. It seems like if you get a reasonably sharp plastic edge and you just go along the outside edge like that, that gets it off quite easily. And I'll be able to use it again. I mean, a lot of people would just rip this off. I mean, and just position the soundproofing between the door panel and the door when they put it back on. But I don't know. I'll try and keep it as factory as possible. I haven't been posting any car videos in a long time. Sorry about that, but I've been really getting into my music. As you know, you look up Max Solon on any music platform, you'll see that I've written, well, I've actually written nearly 200 songs, but I have about 140 posted. And I write songs all the time. I mean, a lot of different genres, mostly country because that's what I like. But I have, you know, club songs, love songs, kind of just feel good songs. Even got some out there songs on different subjects, but they're all pretty good. Well, I think so. Most people who's listened to them, feedback's been really good. Anyway, obviously this part of the video is pretty boring, but you can see I've nearly got this all off. this piece of crap off. But a piece of crap I might use again at some point in time. So I'm not quite sure what happened with this window, but I've ordered new internals for it anyway. But it doesn't look like anything broke like the other ones. Not sure what happened. I'll have to get a flashlight in there and see what happened. But as you can see, that's what the door panel looks like on the inside. And I've ordered these whole mechanisms, which I'm guessing are probably fairly easy to install. At least I hope so. So I'll get that done and fix it. So I'm going to look inside the door panel there, see what actually happened. See if the glass came out the track or whatever. I'm not actually that familiar with these, how the inside of windows work. And a lot of these modern vehicles are quite different from the old style ones. I actually fixed the windows in one of my old Bentleys once, and it was amazing how well designed it was. It was actually designed as if they expected somebody to be able to fix it at some point in time. And although we tried to fix the Maximilian had a Bentley Continental GT, which was a totally different animal from my Bentley Morzan, and that one was almost impossible to change. Anyway, let me see, I'll put some power to it and wiggle it and see if I can get the window up. Okay, so one problem is when you have a collapsed window or something and you're trying to work out what actually happened, you know, it's a little bit hard to see in there. Anyway, something that I've just discovered which could be very helpful to people is, in order to get the speaker out, it's incredibly easy. You just literally push down on this clip at the top and pull it forward, and as you can see, it now gives me a much bigger area to see on this side what's holding the window up. So that's really good to know for people. So let me go take that wire out and move the speaker and see what's going on. There's a little clip on the speaker wire, so you literally have to kind of push it in with a screwdriver or something to pull it out. Okay, so I won't be receiving the internal bits for a few days, so I've basically just wedged the window up so if I want to drive it I can. And sometimes the best way to find out what's wrong with something, because it's really hard looking at all these components, is to just look in the bottom of the door and see if you find a broken bit, which I did, which was this. And so it tells me I don't have to spend ages trying to work out if I can fix it, if it's come off a track or something like that, because obviously if the broken component's in there, then it's actually broken and it can't be fixed. It needs to be replaced. So hopefully that was helpful to some people. So as you know, we've got the door panel off, and I've checked out what the problem was, and I am going to post a video of putting the new door mechanisms in for the windows, but I'm going to do that later. But one thing I'd like to mention is this bar here is for locking the door, and I think before you leave the plastic door panel up to pop it out, you should try and reach inside here and push this or pull the door panel out enough to disengage this, because if you pull this up, you can damage these clips, so you've got to be careful of that. Or another thing you could do is actually pop this bar out from the clips. In fact, that's probably how you do it, because you'd have to lever that out too much. So I would pop this bar out from these clips. It'll pop out really easily, and then pop your panel up so that you don't break these clips off. Okay, hopefully you go to the end of the video and look at that. Maybe I'll say something about it at the front of the video. Anyway, hopefully that's given some of you guys a easier idea of how to remove the door panel, because as simple as sometimes these things are, you can really destroy them in the process, and very expensive or hard to replace. And we all want to know how to do things properly. You can kind of see where they're located. These poppers probably stayed on the door panel. Anyway, that's what the inside of the door looks like. Yeah, I really love this Hummer, and yeah, it's got a lot of small issues on it. Windows not working, static on my radio, you know, the dash light flash now and again, so there's something a bit wrong there. But I've thought about selling it and getting a better one, but this one's only done 140,000 miles, and it's like the top of the line. It's got video screens in the back of each headrest, and it's just very highly optioned, electric seats, I mean heated seats and everything, and it actually drives really nice, although I have got a slight tick in the tappet tick, which I think it was because I didn't use the right O-ring when I put the new oil pump on. But I'm going to pull the engine out and freshen it up anyway, and I've decided to keep it. This car's got no rust in it, and I'm going to repaint it. It got hit in the storm by our carport, actually Samantha's carport, which we've pulled down, and she's actually having a 70-foot garage built there now, 20 by 70 foot garage. So that's actually happening right now. They're actually doing a concrete slab, so that'll be nice having another big garage in the family. Maximilian just bought a new car trailer, which would be nice if we go and purchase anything, so we'll have a nice car trailer to pick it up in. So it's all rock and roll in here. Anyway, hope you liked the video, and I'll post a video when I put the electric window mechanisms in.